Okie dokie. Cool. I'm recording. All right. So, let's see. Here we go. Okay. So let's start with some recognition. First of all, Samantha is at Success Club 11, which is awesome. Brooke is at 5, which is amazing. Hope, Lisa, and Emily are all at 1, so that it's nice to have some numbers on the board. We're still doing good for 2-star qualifications. Looks like we're all set for this week. I know that, like, obviously week 5 to 6 is the toughest one. So, like, we just prepare for it now, like make sure people are on their HD and signing people up like now. So those weeks aren't a problem, obviously, with the, the way that it works. It's so that you can't just, sign people up once and not have to worry for the rest of the time. Okay. So I just wanted to go over some of the tools and information from the back office. March Success Club prize is the performance pack, which is awesome. It's a good giveaway. It's good to take those things on trips and stuff. And then they also have been talking a lot about Summit and Super Saturday. So Super Saturday is April 8th. No excuses. You have plenty of time to find sitters, to find a place to go, to figure all that out. It's in the back office if you don't know where that is. And same with Summit. So we have plenty of time for Summit. So Megan's team, Be Fit, Be Free, have a bunch of coaches going as well. So if anyone on our team needs a room or someone to room with, message me, or we can talk to Megan and those girls. So, we can bundle up together. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this in a little bit more detail because we talked about it at NLC, but I wanted to talk about the new compliance guidelines with the MLMs. So basically, it really doesn't affect our team that much. I haven't noticed any problems, or like issues or anything with our team. But just so you know, basically, you cannot belong to another MLM as a distributor. So say I have a coach on my team named Sarah. She's a discount coach. She signed up as a discount. She's never had a Success Club point on the board or earned a commission. She can do Roden and Fields all day long. You can be a discount coach and RNF as long as you're not making an income with Beachbody, and vice versa. So, say she's just a discount coach with something else, or the equivalent, whatever that is. She can run Beachbody. What you can't do, you cannot host parties like LuLaRoe. You host a party on a website or a Facebook page, and someone sponsoring, you get free leggings, or they have it for different, you get free product. Can't do that. That's the basis of it. It goes into really, really deep details. But read the policy and procedures. I haven't seen a problem with it, so I don't feel like they need to get into it. But the reason that they do it, and I want to make sure we, as it becomes bigger, the reason that they got it, that they're doing this, first of all, to protect themselves. We do not want to be seen as a pyramid scheme, ever. That's not what we are, and we don't want to be portrayed that way. So Nikki described it very well by saying, if you try to chase 2 rabbits, you'll catch none, right? It comes across as super sleazy when you're like, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that, and I love all these things. Some people do just love products, and that's totally fine. You can, buy whatever you want from any of your friends. You're still supporting them. Like, I have plenty of friends who do everything, and I don't mind buying from them. I'm supporting their business. I don't have to support them by doing a party. Okay. And then their biggest reason is that it protects us from poaching. So by doing this, obviously there are going to be things that happen all the time, but by letting coaches in who are running other big MLMs, they've been poaching our customers and our coaches, and they're doing this to protect us because they don't want us to lose our customers to something else or our coaches to something else because it sounds like better. We are doing hard work, and not all companies do that. It's not because of a particular person per se, but there were lots of wine jokes made at NLC. Like, they thought every other joke was about the wine business. So it does have a lot to do with that and that guy and everything. But they're doing what's best for us, and they always do. Okay, cool. So let me tell you a little about NLC. So this was like the most amazing 3 days or 5 seconds, it felt like, that went by. It was cool. There were about 225 people there, so it was super, super small. all in the same hotel, so we didn't have to like go anywhere and travel or anything like Summit. It's not like crazy like that. We were literally hanging out with Carl on Thursday night, got our picture taken with him. One of the coolest things was like for me was having all the corporate mentors there. So like my corporate mentor Kevin was hanging out, the other corporate mentor Jeff that runs our market council. Nikki's mentor Craig Collier was there, and he's like, Nikki's your coach, and he took a selfie and sent it to her. And like they're like real people that totally have our best interest at heart. And that was pretty cool to see. And even the Michael Neiman and Jeff Hill and Dave Moss, and like I feel like I'm best friends with everybody now. Um, I sat at dinner the last night. We had like a table of 7 of us. The girls were sitting down. There were 2 empty seats, and Michael Neiman sat between me and my success partner, and we were both like, and he just talked and chatted, had a beer. We were drinking wine. Melanie Mitro came over to like talk to him, and I was like, "Hi, Melanie." I felt like such a hot shot there. Now I feel like I can name drop, but no, it was just fun to like see people in kind of a real atmosphere, and talking to Michael Neiman about like real stuff about they talked at one point about income, and we have this whole income tracker. I can share it too, but it's actually not good, but that they made about how many cycles you need to hit the income that you want. And I was talking to them because they told us to write down our freedom number. I know my freedom number. I'm a numbers person. It's 4,000. If I make $4,000 a month, I can quit my job. It gives me the freedom that I want. Quitting everybody's freedom does not equal quitting their job, but that's what it is for me. And so I said to Michael, I was like, it's just we never talk about the budget part of it, because they did say that, like, figure out past 6 months of your income, what you need for your freedom number before you just go and quit your job, because people don't understand, what that is. So that part was probably the coolest thing, just the intimate thing. And it was fun, and everyone was serious about the business, and it was all just talking about that. So the first thing that Craig Collier said when he got up on stage the first day was, I want you to think of one word that inspires you to keep going. And it was kind of the theme. Every speaker who went up told us their words. Belief, freedom, purpose, joy. Darren Oline said Shakeology, and he gave a reason for that. But like, what inspires you to keep going? And I've actually had a very difficult time, because of course nothing's easy for me to just snap my fingers and come up with an answer. I've had a difficult time thinking of what inspires me to keep going. I've gone back and forth between freedom and like gratitude and things like that. But I want you guys to think of it, and they had us write it on our hands and like get your picture taken with it. But think about one word that inspires you to keep going. And it's different, I think, from my like word of the year, intentional. But it's like, if you've reached all your goals, what word keeps you going? If you have any ideas, you can post them in the comments. So I just wanted to hit a couple of the notes that we talked about. There was Melanie Mitro, and I'm going to share all my slides. I'm putting together an album in our Team F.L.Y group of every single slide from the whole conference. You guys can go through them. But Melanie spoke a lot about where's her notes? Sorry. Like the actual business plan. So she talked about her strategies for setting up the month. She runs her challenge group the 3rd Monday of every month. If you watch her YouTube videos, it's all in there, but I'll post her calendar that she did. And then she also talked a lot about following trends. So March is coming up. What things are going on in March? There aren't really any holidays, like, maybe spring break, maybe, tax season. She said maybe even Lent. I thought that was a good one. Like, what could you give up for 40 days? That's kind of it. So she thinks about it, plans ahead. She does everything based on a theme for her challenge groups and coaching groups and everything like that. She is very task oriented. So she was saying, when I was talking to Michael Neiman, I was saying, people, do what's easy, and then you think once you hit a certain point you can stop, and they pushed the vital behaviors on us like it was the basics. And I was like, Melanie doesn't need to get up at 5 a.m. every day. And she does, because she does. And he said, you know why she does it? Because it allows her to structure her day for her family and spend the time. I was like, why doesn't she wake up at 7:30? And he's like, that's her family time. And she does not want her business to cut into her family time. And I thought that was really cool, because, a lot of us can work out at night, or we can do our business at night, but that's when our family's around. I have a video also to share from her about how she like shares things with her spouse to keep him engaged and knowing what's going on. She said, if you hop on your phone or your computer at 8 o'clock, when for the past 5 years you guys have been together, you had been sitting together and watching TV and having time together. And now you're basically talking to someone else. Obviously, it's usually a girl, and it's not like a cheating thing or anything, but it feels like that to them. So she talked about that. I'll share that video with you. And then she also shared her daily planner, which I'll share. It's literally every day is broken out hour by hour. It's insane. I mean, obviously she has to. She's wicked busy. But like, one thing that I thought was great was she separates personal business time and work and team business time. So she says sometimes, especially when you hit diamond, you get lost in the building the team aspect. And I know that I will always respond to you guys before I respond to like my personal messages about selling a challenge pack, because frankly, it's easier to talk to you guys and I like it. So she sets her calendar up and has business time where it's personal business. So she works on follow-ups, sending messages, inviting, adding friends, and all that stuff. And then she has team business time where she works on following up with her coaches, checking in on her coaches and her team page and all that stuff. And I thought that was really great how she separated the two. And she has said this from the beginning. She does 80% personal business, 20% team time, which I know I definitely don't do that because I don't like it as much, my personal business time. So I don't spend as much time on them. And she has her workouts in there. She has blank areas where she, can fill with other things. She has her calls on there, her workouts, her shower time, like everything. She's super detailed. And I think it'd be kind of cool if we did that for like a week or two to see. She said the first few times she did, it takes a little while to get used to, but she was shocked with how much white time she had, like nothing to do time. And sometimes, obviously we're all busy here, I'm not saying that, but like, you don't realize, you're like, oh, I did have a half hour in there where I could have done this, or I could have changed my schedule around a little bit so it's not cutting into family time and this and that. She was just awesome to listen to. We also heard from Michael Neiman and Jeff Hill and Doug Moss. And these are three guys who are like guys. They're not weak. They don't show weakness. And all three of them cried on stage. Like, it was, the whole audience, we were all bawling. But Jeff Hill talking about his family, when they had to say their word, it was so deep it brought them to tears. I can't remember Jeff's off the top of my head. Oh, Purpose. I'm sorry. Purpose was Jeff's. And he had a picture of his ginormous family. He has like 12 kids. He's Mormon. Has so many kids, and he told this story where he puts an X and O on their hand when he leaves in the morning every day. And he looked up at the picture and told the story of how his grandson asked what he does every day to go to work, and explained how he helps other people. And it was just a really great story, and tears. And he got all choked up when he was telling the story. It was so sweet. And Doug Moss, I'm sorry if I said it wrong before, is he's a regional director of someone. He's basically a mentor of like 10 to 15 stars, I believe. A little bit of a heavier set guy, but not like huge by any means. And he went over every single detail of the elite report with us, like line by line, how to get there, how to do it. Very numbers oriented, very Emerald personality and stuff like that. And so when he said his word was blessed, and he started crying, and he couldn't even like get his story out. And he said that before he started working for Beachbody, and he's not a coach or anything, he said before he just started working for Beachbody, he had to request one of the seatbelt extenders on the airplane. And he said it was like so embarrassing and everything. And he just started crying when he talked about the change that just the programs have done for him. So that was kind of cool to hear too, that like, it's not just like they're so proud to work and they don't, he doesn't get money based, well, I don't know if they do or not, but he doesn't get money based on how well we do, I don't think, or anything like that. So it was just nice to hear the realness in them. And that was one of the coolest takeaways, that they're like real people. All right. So then we heard from Ashley Smith, who was a 2-star diamond last February and ended the year 6-star elite, something like that. She basically shared about her Facebook story, and if you check her out on Facebook, Ashley Smith is her name. She shares her journey as a journal. So that's kind of how she talked about it. She's like, share your story, the good and the bad, but for the bad, oh, okay, cool. Excuse me, for the bad, like, I don't know, an example of a bad thing, but whatever, like, oh, I ate a bag of potato chips, which I did the other day. She always puts a silver lining on things. So like, she's kind of like, the silver lining is the PD that you have. So like, something bad happens to you, you fall off track or this and that, and it's not like a bitch session. It's like, how did you turn it around and, use your PD and dig deep into making it a silver lining. I got a ton of PD book suggestions. 50 Ways to Yay. Grit, GRIT, was like one that they did not stop talking about, and Good to Great. Those were some of the ones that they talked about that were awesome. When people asked what like our number one takeaway is and that we were going to do with our team differently from last week to this week, what for me was to make sure that I'm sharing my failures with you guys, because I don't want, I feel like I do a little bit, like you guys know me pretty well, but like, I don't want you guys to ever feel like that I haven't, that I got here easily, or that you're the only one that made a mistake and I never have, or that you guys tried to reach a goal and you didn't make it and I never did. And obviously, that's not true because I've shared it, but I want to make sure that I'm sharing that like on the regular with you guys. So that was super important piece of what they talked about. Okay, so just a few more things here. Sorry, just have the notes. Okay, so lastly, we talked about Shakeology. Sorry, I just want to make sure I covered everything. And I'll put all the slides up so you guys can get it. It's obviously 3 days. I can't get into everything. But the last thing we heard was from compliance, and whatever, it is what it is. But the last person who spoke for the most part was Darren Oline, or however you say his last name. And first of all, he is in like superb shape. He is like a dream little man. He's so hot. But anyways, he spoke about Shakeology. And I know that Beachbody is definitely pushing towards understanding the value of Shakeology. Now, starting March 1st, 1 bag of Shakeology HD is 2 Success Club points. And I think that's so important. So what he said was that he explained basically what they do, why there's financial value in it, and that why it's actually inexpensive. He said that Beachbody has created new guidelines for their manufacturers and producers of their ingredients to follow that go above and beyond anything that the FDA has. So say, it takes them so long to come out with a new flavor, right? So he explained to us what happens. Say there's an ingredient of, I don't know what they are exactly off the top of my head, but that they need to make a certain flavor. Let's call it like whatever. Anyway, so if they need this, and he's trying to get it from the distributor, Beachbody does all the testings on it, and they say it has no artificial colors in it, right? That's what the producer of this flavoring says. Oh, it has no additive. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. No, that's what I just said. Like artificial coloring. Okay. Beachbody tests it, they find out there is artificial coloring in it because the FDA will allow a certain percentage of carcinogens, like artificial things. Sorry, I don't know all the real terms for it, but like fakeness or anything into an ingredient. So like, have you heard like before, this is so gross, but that McDonald's chicken nuggets have a certain percentage of rats in them? Have you heard that before? It's gross. Probably true. The FDA lets certain, and frankly, that's probably true with any manufactured thing that in such a big place, but that's disgusting. Sorry. But
anything that says all natural can have a certain percentage of artificial stuff in it.
Exactly. So true. So that's the point he was making, was that Beachbody goes beyond that, tests it even deeper, and does not accept that for an answer. And until they either find something that does not have those artificial things in it, or they can create it themselves, they don't accept it. So it's cool to hear that when you're explaining this to somebody who's hesitant. And frankly, I think it's even about the price. Like, I was thinking today, like, I have so many people who are like, oh, I could just buy it from GNC or Walmart, right? Like I saw on a post today that they bought like Vega One or something it's called. Anyways. And then I was like, would you buy sushi I would never buy sushi from Walmart or a steak or whatever your thing is that's like kind of expensive, right? Never buy sushi from Walmart or like a place like GNC, like a big box store. Frankly, I would barely even buy it from my grocery store. So when I was comparing that to Shakeology, I want to trust the ingredients in everything I put in my body. And why would, if they wouldn't buy something like that, the FDA levels on sushi or whatever, a steak that go to the grocery store, are 1,000 times higher than what they are in nutritional supplements or skincare or anything like that, because they're so low, they're barely regulated. Anyway, so he just kept talking about it. He talked about each particular ingredient in Shakeology and what adaptogens do for you. Basically, they like legit help you de-stress. And he talked about how, the old adage of an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And he said, that originally came about because a apple has 300 like components, nutritional components to it. And he's like, kind of like that in the olden days is kind of like Shakeology. Though, and one apple one day won't save your life, over a matter of time it will. And he is so passionate. And he chose the word Shakeology not because it's what he does, but because he literally like lives and breathes it. And he says Shakeology is about change. Shakeology is about making a new path and all these things. So I am going to try to make a point of talking more about Shakeology. And like, I did a post today, nothing major, but I was just like, if I wouldn't drink or eat something, for the most part, that I wouldn't give Poppy, right? Like, I mean, obviously I have a Diet Coke once in a while or an alcoholic drink. Obviously I wouldn't give those things to her. I don't mean that, but like, if I'm going to eat and drink something every day and I don't trust to give it to Poppy, I don't think I'd want to drink it myself. So that was kind of my point that I was trying to make in my post today. But I highly recommend watching the podcast on Shakeology and listening to him. He's got a lot of great stuff to say. So that is pretty much the gist of it. If I can fit it into 30 minutes, I know that it's a ton of information. But if you have any questions about it, let me know. And I hope that you guys, if you want to be there next year, you can. You really can. And when I was talking to some of the my mentors, I said, the number one thing I want out of this is my coaches to be here next year and know that they can do it. As one of my failures, I didn't make it last year when I should have, according to like where people were at. I mean, there were people at every rank. There were people that had dropped down to diamond. There were people that were 5-star elite last year, like, because, it changes so quickly. There were people that had been coaching for 11 months and there are people that had been coaching for 4 and 5 years. So I kind of felt okay with where I was, which was cool because I thought I was going to go there and feel like a wicked slacker. But we can talk about how to reverse engineer it. I actually asked a ton of people because I know I'm an anomaly. I asked almost everyone that I talked to if they built their spouse account to get them to 2-star, and I didn't hear a single person say no. Every single person said yes. And I said to one of them, I was like, how do I bring that to my team? Because that didn't happen to me. I haven't needed to do that. So I feel like they're following my footsteps, but I want you guys to understand that I'm beyond lucky to have you guys on my team. And I didn't have to do that to get to 2-star. I don't know a situation. I don't think I've met a single person who hasn't had to do that. So I think that's the next step for you guys to be at 2 stars, to start building your spouse account on your weak leg to diamond, and going from there. But I think that's all I have. I wanted to keep it kind of short tonight because I have no sleep on me. But do you have any questions or anything, guys?
Katie, so I've been wanting to do that like for a long time, but I think I think you would agree, like it's more important to like get a stable diamond before you move on to that. Would you say, or like how stable of a diamond would you say to be before you move on to that?
That's a good question. I would say I would try to have 6 to 7 active on each leg and then build your spouse account.
How many emeralds on each leg would you say before you start that? Maybe 2 or?
I would say 1
depending on how solid the
yeah. Like if one of them's your spouse, that's fine on that leg. And I would say on the other leg, 1 to 2 is plenty. 1 definitely. I mean, emeralds come and go as fast as coaches and diamonds do, frankly. He did say that the chances of the people that got you to 2-star are not going to be the ones that get you to 5-star. And I was like, oh, they will be. I guarantee you that. But then I was thinking about that today. The people that got me to diamond are not even on my team anymore. So we can talk about it like in detail, who you have on your each leg and stuff. But once you're pretty confident that you have 5, 6 coaches that are going to stay active, and like maybe even alternate, like 1 to you, 1 to your spouse, 1 to you, 1 to your spouse. But it's going to be picking up the pace because they fall off so quickly that if say you sign 4 coaches a month, which obviously we all know is a lot, and you do 1 for you, 1 for your spouse, 1 for you, 1 for your spouse, that's 2 and 2. They drop off so fast, that it's going to be a lot to build it, spreading it so thin. So, but you can definitely do it. Just don't hesitate to sign people up as discount coaches with the all access. I feel like we've kind of stalled out on that.
Yeah.
But I know for me, part of the hesitation was like, oh, I don't want to lose the residual income with signing people up as coaches. But honestly, with the 2-star not bonus, the 2-star second business center, getting myself there has made such a difference in my income. Be able to put everything under there and get all the volume that used to go to me onto my weak leg has made a huge difference in my income. So I think that's should be a big push for you guys, is the second business center. Yeah, the bonuses are sweet, but that's nothing like crazy. I mean, obviously it means like the world to me, but it's the second business center that in the long term will really help a lot.
Well, I think I haven't been, I don't think I'm afraid to try to sign them up as discount coaches if they get the Country Heat Challenge back.
Right.
But like that, I'm like, yes, you should do that. But the other one, I don't know. I feel like I risk scaring them away when they start to see that $15 fee. Like they start, even though you tell them, like they start confused, and I don't know. I feel like I risk scaring them away.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're already getting it. It's only a very slight difference. I don't know.
I agree. I mean, I haven't done it really too much either, so I do understand that. But I know a lot of people that I see like on our downline, like from Nikki's coaches, are still doing that.
Okay.
Maybe it just involves more clarification or something, and just letting them know or something. I'm not sure exactly how to word that. I know Sam signed up a few that way, I believe.
Okay.
I signed one up as a discount coach, as a business builder, but she's not building the business. She's just a discount coach right now, with the challenge pack. But she came to me about coaching. I signed up 2 coaches this week, or one a couple of days ago and one last week. And I had signed them up as customers strategically because I knew I was okay with my amount of PS coaches, but I knew my spouse accounts were not. So I put 1 under each of my spouse accounts. Oh, thanks, Leanne. Because of my diamond push last week or whenever that was. And I had another, I had some coaches going inactive, and it was craziness in my back office. So I was like scrambling to sign them up, and I was thankful that I had signed them up as customers, knowing I needed them more under my spouse account. And obviously, once they're a coach under you, can't switch them after those couple of days. So it was, but it was a gamble because I did that in December, and I was like, oh, great. I signed up 5 people in December as customers, and yep, great. At least 2 or 3 of them will sign up in January, and no one signed up as a coach. So it is really risky, but it just depends more on what you need. So.
Mm-hmm. True.
Katie, how often do the elite points update? Because now that I definitely want to make this a goal, I just looked at mine. I know it's 30. I think it's 30 to get, you don't get your room paid for, but it's 30.
I think it's 60.
One.
I think it's 60 to get your room paid for.
Yeah, but just to get an invite is 30. So I'm like, if I could just go.
Oh, totally. You totally can.
I mean, I've got one so far, but I'm like, does it update monthly?
The second Friday of every month.
Okay. And I need to research kind of more what causes you to get more. I know it's you're hitting Success Club and your coach is hitting Success Club, but is it also your coach is getting any Success Club points?
Only when your 2016, 2017 coaches hit Success Club.
Okay.
So right, I have a list of mine. I love that you guys both hit Success Club, but I get no elite points from you this year.
Does it matter Success Club 10 versus Success Club 5 and point?
I know.
So there's no way to really ramp up the coach other than to get the points, other than to get more coaches that are hitting Success Club. Okay.
Yep, and also you can get points for customer personal volume so any customer that you sign up. Every 500 personal volume points, any 2017 customer. We'll go over it. We'll do a call or something, but just sign up as many customers and coaches as you can.
But if I hit Success Club and they hit Success Club, that doubles the points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leanne, yeah, you're doing good. Don't worry. But if you have Pearl personality in you at all, it helps Brooke if you hit Success Club. I know when Brooke is a Pearl personality. So she is beyond helpful for me, to, if I'm pushing for a goal or whatever, anyways.
I did get 1 point from Leanne already.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Last month, 1 elite point. That's all I got somewhere, but thank you.
There are a bunch of other ways. Check out the FAQ. Just type in the search bar Elite 2018, and we can go over it all. There are a bunch of forms and stuff in there to track it and stuff. Maybe next Friday or the Friday that it comes out, we'll do a call on it or something that day. Because it's so worth it. It's first of all a once in a lifetime. They don't allow you to go more than once, so it's a cool experience, and I would do it over again. So, all right, guys, that's all I've got for tonight. Thanks for hopping on. I'm excited I honestly haven't had a second to breathe and digest it yet, and look at my notes. So I haven't put anything into play yet, for the most part. So I'm excited to make some changes and spice things up a little bit. But tomorrow night, don't forget, I'll post it in the team page, or actually if one of you guys could post it, share the link for that. We're doing a live What is Coaching group. So just add anyone that you've talked to about coaching into that. Let them know that we're going live at 8:30 p.m. EST tomorrow. So cool. That's all I got. Thanks for hopping on, guys. I will chat with you during the week. And we still have plenty of time to hit Success Club. There's at least 24 hours left. It's been done. Crazier things have been done. So awesome, guys. Talk to you later.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.